I'm going to get a notification as soon as it goes live telling me that it went live because it always does. It always tells me. Boop, boop. Doesn't it? Oh, Butterfly! Dude, you in here like super quick. What's going on, dude? Oh, a what? A what? What's poppin', my man? What's going on, dude? You early. You like super early. What's going on? What's going on? Dominic, what's poppin', you guys? Happy Tuesday, my friends. How's everyone going? Xander, let's go. Let's go. Dude, I'm still like, my voice is still like starting to come back. It's been gone for a couple days now since that whole wiring thing. It's bad. Hey, how's it hanging? What's going on, Cole? How you doing today, man? How you doing? What's going on, you guys? Anything exciting going on? Anything new? Anything crazy? I don't think so. It's been pretty chill over here. Going good. How am I? Not too bad. I think I got the most of the wiring pretty much wrapped up in the 17 STI for all the body harness stuff. I was going through there today trying to clean up as much as I could. I ran out of wire loom. Small dog, go get it. I ran out of wire loom like halfway through, so I have like half of it fully loomed up, but I just have a little bit left on the body harness side. Tomorrow I got to pull the motor back out of the STI. I got to get that clutch and flywheel. Why did you just bring that back in here? I got to get that clutch and flywheel on there and keep it going, but it's going good. It's going good. Plumber, how you doing? Swinging in early with the agina jokes. I'm all about it. I like it. Happy Tuesday, my friend. Manny, how you doing, man? You should take it to the repair shop when its functions are back and see the absolute confusion. I don't think Subaru... I don't think they'd appreciate it so much if I just brought it in. Like, I'd totally be down to it. It'd have to be a dealership. That's probably a little farther away because I feel like all the local ones around here know me. I don't think they do much. I feel like they just pop the hood, look at it, and do whatever service I had them do, and then go back to going back about their business. I don't know. Austin, how you doing, man? Brian, what up? Peace sign, what up, dude? Smedia, you think a front mount intercooler is worth the extra cost over a top mount? 100%, 200%, 300%, yes. Trying to decide on which route to go for my 2011 WRX. Yeah, so I mean, even if you look at cost, the cost of like a fully proper setup, like Grimspeed top mount intercooler comes out to about the same cost as an ETS front mount does. Because you have the intercooler, you have the intercooler shroud, the intercooler ducting. There's like all of these, the Y-pipe kit, like, it doesn't even come with a Y-pipe. It's frustrating, but no, 100% front mount intercoolers. You get lower IATs. Yeah, you get a little bit longer charge piping. It's easier to work on. I just personally, you guys know I hate top mount intercoolers. Doing my oil pickup and ish. How the fuck do you get those rear bolts back on the pan? A lot of patience, a lot of very precise movements with a 1/4 inch ratchet with a wobbly do, and then a smaller like 3-inch extension on the other side of it. It's a pain. After you've done it like 3 or 4 times, it's really not that bad, but when you're doing it for your first or like second time in there, it's super annoying. If you're using like the Killer Beast, I'm assuming you're using like the stock oil pan bolts, which makes it a lot easier than using the Killer Beast stuff does, but I totally feel it. It's not fun. It sucks to do. Just sold all my Dogecoin. Fixing to build the 2015 SCI now. Paper hands. Straight up paper hands. It's all good. I don't blame you at all, dude.
To the moon.
I don't blame you at all. What's up, homie? Yeah, dude, do it. Build it. Build that card. What you got planned? What you got planned for that thing? What up, man? Super excited to see everything going good and coming together. Hey, appreciate it, Ricky. It is definitely exciting getting this stuff working. That wiring, it's not even a fiasco, but all the wiring in that car is taking way longer than I wanted it to. But it's getting there. It's getting there. That's all that matters. Alberto, what's going on, dude? Jay, what up, dude? Bro, I'm selling my girlfriend to work on my WRX because you inspired me. What do you mean you're selling your girlfriend? What does that mean? What does that mean? Brandon, appreciate the dono, dude. Always appreciate it. You guys always come in here, kill it every single time. Joshua, how you doing, man? Josh, cars at the shop getting Killy B oil stuff and IAG AOS and a Pro Tune. Ooh, how much power? How much power are you expecting to make on that Pro Tune, dude? Curious. Super curious. In the process of going stage 3, I had to unbolt and raise up my intake manifold to squeeze in my new turbo inlet. Totally don't blame you. It happens. Do I need to replace the intake manifold to TGV housing gasket 2009 Subaru WRX? I would definitely recommend it. The gasket's pretty cheap, too. I think that gasket only costs, well, like $8. I think it's only like $8 for those gaskets. 100%. Replace them. depending on mileage. But you said it's a 2009 WRX. I'm assuming it hasn't been replaced in a while. If it's been a bit, yeah, 100%, dude, replace them. Curious if you are running flex fuel. Can you fill up with straight E85 or always try and make a blend? You can fill up with straight E85. The ethanol sensor is only going to... The way the ethanol sensor works, depending on whatever ethanol percentage you're tuned at, you're going to see very negligible gains after that percentage. I think up to like E75 is where you really start seeing your gains, but anything after that is like pretty negligible. But yeah, I mean, you could throw in straight E85. I used to do that in the 17 STI. I had no problems at all. Every once in a while, I would suggest running a tank of pump gas through there just to help clean out the system a little bit, like every 3 fill-ups on E85, just put a fill-up at 93 in there, or 92, whatever's local to you, and then just clean out the system, then you go back to E85. What do you recommend? What would you recommend? What would you go with? 2018 RA or 2020 STI, considering the entertainment system? Personally, I'd probably get the RA because I like the roof on the RA a lot better than the standard STIs. The RA has this. Does the RA have the crazy wing, or is that just the S209?
RA's got the carbon wing.
Yeah, I'd get rid of the carbon wing, though. I'm not a huge fan of the RA carbon wing on that thing. Personally, I'd get the 2018 RA, plus it's a limited, like, edition, considering, like, how many they made in comparison to, like, all, like, limited and base model STIs. Just seems like a little... Depending on price, too. You gotta weigh in price there. Hello from Russia! What's going on, my friend? I was thinking of running a custom intercooler setup on my GC8. Is that worth it? I want to run a front mount intercooler on my GC, but the car has lost 2 bumpers in the winters. I mean, like, what are you doing in the winters to lose bumpers? I'm very curious now. Is it just like a ton of snow or something like that? Like, small dog keeps bringing in this massive bone and he's just playing with it. I mean, honestly, I do think front mount intercoolers are worth it. You get better IATs. It's easier to work on. I've already covered this in this video. I personally hate top mount intercoolers. Front mount intercooler, 100%. Make it work. There's always a way to make it work. Steve, what's going on, dude? Hi. When you finally get to drag race the 17 STI, do you have to spec things out like the cage, battery location, dash, crash bar, to the speed you intend to run? Yes, you do actually. So battery location does make a difference for some motorsport applications. Sometimes they want it in the trunk. Sometimes they don't care if you leave it up like under the hood. Like certain cages have to be approved by certain tracks if you're doing a certain type of motorsport. There's a lot of specifications that go into the safety equipment type or the safety equipment aspect of things when it comes down to it. But yeah, it's going to have to be spec'd out properly. It'll be 100% FIA approved, which means we'll pretty much be able to get into any track that we need to. Did he just walk out with it?
Yeah. Don't try and take it from him.
He's in a bad mood.
He's in a don't mess with me mood.
Ethereum is going up. Ethereum's going up, I guess.
That is true.
How is it with 30 people watching, only 5 thumbs up? That's what I'm saying. Those are rookie numbers. Y'all gotta pump those numbers up. Pump those numbers up. I'm all about it. I'm out here losing my voice, and we're still going. Pump those numbers up. Come on. Dude, I just got a 2021 WRX and have been binging your videos. Thanks, man. Hey, congrats on the car, Alex. Congrats, dude. Glad the videos are helping too, my man. I'm not kidding. I'm not selling her. I'm kidding. I'm not selling her. I was about to say, I think that's like human trafficking. But I'm going stage 1 of the closed deck block of my 10 WRX. Congrats. That is a solid block right there for whatever you plan on intending to do. Where did I just go? Oh, right here. I was thinking of running an intercooler where the radiator is. Then attach the rad and intercooler together. Add the fans on the back and the rad. Add the fans on the back of the rad and get the fans to pull air through both. Do you reckon that might work? I mean, that would work for like a somewhat stock setup too. I mean, they don't have to be connected. Like even with a front mount intercooler, if you have pull type fans on the backside of the radiator, it's still going to help pull air through, even if it's pulling.
You don't necessarily have to like put them together. You can just make shrouting.
That's true.
Make sure air is
ducting
properly.
Ducting.
Yeah.
Ducting. We want tunnels. Tunnels. Jordan, what's going on, dude? Tanner, you are the fucking man. I talked to all my wiring today in motivation to your video. Ha! Got me doing anything financially possible at this point. I'm totally about it. Wiring sucks. Like, wiring is the least enjoyable thing on any engine build. Like, I don't enjoy doing it. I have to do it. It's not like it's not like Matt's gonna go out there and do my wiring, are you?
No, but now I get to deal with wiring too.
Oh, you get to do that on the Neon though.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be that bad. Yours is all plug and play.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yours is all plug and play.
I mean, some of my stuff's in weird spots.
That's true. Plumber, appreciate the dono. Plumber says hello, Matt, or yo, Matt.
Yo!
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 Mother, what's going on, dude? What's going on, man? Not sure power yet. Mods are Killer Bee equal length headers, NVIDIA uppipe, Grimspeed downpipe, NVIDIA N1 Cobb SF intake, Grimspeed boost controller, IAG AOS, Killer Bee oil pickup, and baffle. So power stuff, you have an equal length header. I'm not even going to count an uppipe as power stuff. You have header, downpipe, intake, boost controller. That's pretty much all you got for power stuff there. Josh, I'm going to guess on an STI 300. I'm going to guess 300. You got no fueling mods in there. Pick up a fuel pump if you can, at minimum, before you go to your tune. They're cheap. When are you in Portland next? We should do polls in your black STI versus my 3.5 XTR STI. Nacho STI, how much power you make, man? I don't know if that sounds like a fair race. I don't know if that sounds fair. I don't even know. I don't go down to Portland too much. The only time I really go down to Portland is whenever I'm like picking something up, going down there for an appointment. I don't ever really go down there just to like go down. I don't really go anywhere just to go anywhere.
I don't walk around Portland.
Where do I? Well, anywhere in general. Like I never go to Seattle. I never go to Portland. I never go anywhere. I just work.
It's pretty much just when like the ladies want us to.
I just work. Whenever I have to go somewhere, it's me working.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all it is. Plumber, Matt, what is your favorite Hot Pocket?
Oh, shit. My favorite Hot Pocket?
Philly cheesesteak.
Dude, that's pretty good. They have like this
Philly
meatball one. If you've ever had the meatball one,
God.
that one's pretty delicious.
Oh, God. Cody, I am loving the STI build. I know the wiring sucks. Buck, you make it super interesting. Keep up the awesomeness. Hey, appreciate it, Cody. The wiring, it's coming along. It's almost there. I'd say the wiring is about 80% complete at this point for the body harness stuff. Once I wrap up the last of the body harness stuff, at that point I can start wiring in the Haltech into the stock body chassis, like body harness stuff. It's weird. The way that this swap has to work is I have to run 2 ECUs in the car. I have to run the stock ECU for immobilizer purposes and for like other features to work in the car, so the stock ECU has to stay, but I have to piggyback the stock ECU into the Haltech. I don't quite know how I'm gonna get. I don't know how I'm gonna do that quite yet, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. You have to make it to Wicked. You have to make it out to Wicked Big Meat. Isn't that local to us? Wicked Big Meat? No, that's on the East Coast. Yeah. There's no way I can make it to Wicked Big Meat. That's so
Wicked
far.
Big was like, is that around Texas? Or
no, that's on the East Coast. That's in like New York, New Jersey, I think. What do we have? We have what, WCSS, West Coast Subaru Show, and we also have
the Big Northwest.
Big Northwest. Those are the 2 Subaru shows we get up here. I know there's one in California. What is that, Subi Fest?
I think so.
That one I could probably we could probably make it to Subi Fest.
We'll take all our cars and
dude, it's only like a 20-hour drive.
Make it down there,
it's only like a 20-hour drive down to California.
One of them will break.
Which one do you think would break? Mine or yours?
I think Chewy's due for breaking.
Mine already did all its breaking recently.
Yeah. It's been a couple years for mine.
No fuel stuff yet. 2016 STI. Get that fuel stuff, Josh. Get it. Do your best impression of the flat six stew sound. I can't. I'm legit still losing my voice. Like I can't do any fun noises.
Just ended.
I just can't. I can't right now, dude. My throat is like, it's not gonna happen. Curious, when building an FA20 motor, are the upgraded rods still the offset? Are the upgraded rods still the offset OEM rods, or are they straight? They're still offset. The way that the crank and the block designed dictates how the rods are. So the rods are still offset. You could get Manly, you could get any aftermarket rod brand. They're going to be offset. That's just the design of that motor, unfortunately. Which it's still I'd still say, even with aftermarket rods, it's still your weak point is the rod. Just because it's not symmetrical. It's not taking even load. It's not symmetrical. It's stupid design on their part. I don't understand why they couldn't just make it. Hello. I don't understand why they couldn't just make it a symmetrical design, but they just chose not to. They made the whole engine symmetrical, but not the rods. I don't know. Finally received my IAG AOS yesterday, traveling to Arizona for an arm wrestling tournament, but we'll be installing next week. Ooh, congrats on the IAG AOS, and good luck on the arm wrestling tournament. I didn't know those were still a thing. I've seen videos of them, but I always thought they were like myths.
I've just seen where people's arms break.
Yeah, I've seen people's like forearms like snap like an arm wrestling.
Don't do that because you're still gonna install that thing
like,
when you get home.
Wouldn't be able to do it. Nope. Are there any benefits in the ETS front mount intercooler compared to others? It's cheaper. It looks good. Fitment, Fitment is solid. They offer a variety.
Cheaper?
Yeah, it's cheaper than like Cobb and like Grimspeed. and process West. I think ETS is the best bang for the buck from an intercooler for our cars. 100%. Plumber, appreciate the dono, man. We got a cat over there. We got a nice little cat. Nice little cat. Nice little cat. I'm all about it. But yeah, 100%. I mean, Grimspeed. Jeez, dude. We were talking. I don't know why I even just said that. ETS 100% is always my recommended go-to for front-mount intercoolers. The only reason I have a Cobb one on the black STI is because there were like crazy lead times with ETS when I was ordering intercoolers, and it was like weeks out, like weeks. My 2017 WX is having some trouble getting over 14 PSI. I did have it on a stage 1 E-tune all stock parts, but I reverted back to the stock tune and still can't get over 14 PSI. If you're having trouble getting over a certain boost limit, start with like easy things. Vacuum leaks. Wastegate, like check the wastegate. Check the tune also. Like never hurts to double check the tune to make sure you didn't upload like the wrong tune on there or something like that. That might be capping how much like boost you're actually making. But if it is set to the correct tune, go through there. Start looking for like vacuum leaks. Check your wastegate. Your wastegate may be like malfunctioning. I mean, what car is a 2017 WX? I wouldn't expect it, but you never know. Like that's where I would start. Omni, what's going on, man? Yo, Lorenzo in here policing people up. Get those likes up. Pointing up with the arrows. I'm all about it. What up, guys? Hope all is well. Aside from the losing the voiceness a little bit, everything's doing pretty good. Everything's chill. Nick, appreciate the dono, my friend. Next project for you, built Subaru Ascent motor 2.4 liter FA24. I don't think so. I just don't know. I don't want to. I want to do something else other than a Subaru once the VA chassis is done. I want to mix it up. I want to do something a little bit. We've done 2 EJ builds. We've done an FA build if you count the BRZ, which technically it was an FA20 DIT at that point. We've done the flat 6 build. I want to do something that's not a flat motor. We're gonna mix up. We're gonna do like Nissan, Mazda, something. If I could get like an S2000.
Fiat.
Not a Fiat. I want to try to buy that dude's S2000 that's just always sitting.
You're right.
On that road. That
thing really hasn't moved.
I've never seen that car
It hasn't moved, and I've seen it there for like 10 years.
I think it's an AP1.
Yeah.
S2000.
Yeah.
Which I know everyone, I think that the AP2s are better. But I don't know if he'd be willing to sell that thing for the right price, I'll take it. Take a convertible, just a couple of dudes driving down Meridian in a drop top. We could do it.
It's the Miata. The Miata would be better.
Why?
Because there's just a couple of dudes in a Miata just cruising down the street and drop down.
So if I go with an RA, can I run the Harman Kardon system? I hate the sound system that comes with the base model. I don't know. I don't know if the RA ever came with the Harman Kardon system. I would expect it to since it's a limited model, but since it's an RA model, they didn't really try to strip weight out of that car too much, though. I mean, they did carbon fiber roof, but I think that was the extent of what they went to strip weight out of that thing. So I don't know. I bet you if you took it to the dealer and you asked them to get the Harman Kardon like speakers installed in the car, I think that's something Subaru would do. If I had like an RA and I brought it to the dealership.
The RA didn't come with the Harman Kardon.
I thought it did come with the Harman Kardon. I have no idea. Say my name. Your mother should have swallowed.
I thought it was your mother should have swallowed.
Swell out. Oh wow. Well, you know what? He got me then. He got me.
Loud.
Bro, I've been saying it wrong the entire time. Dude, he's been around since like the beginning of the channel.
Your mother should have swallowed.
Like the very beginning of the channel. I always appreciate it, man. Nick, appreciate the dono. S2000 with an FA24. That would be, I don't know if that would fit. Like that's a wide, I guess it's no wider than like an EJ. I don't know the width of an AP1 or AP2 engine bay though. Uwu Dini. Uwu Dini? Appreciate the dono, my friend. Dude, my voice is like slaughtering me. What I missed? Not much, Nick. We're just kicking it, hanging out. Thanks for your opinions. I will see what I can weld together. Yeah, Luis, my dude. What's going on, man? So I have a 2019 WX. I'm debating getting a twin scroll turbo. What do you mean? You already have a twin scroll turbo. Comes with a twin scroll turbo. What would you recommend turbo-wise? I mean, if you're looking for like an aftermarket turbo, it really depends on your power levels, your budget, what you're trying to like achieve, what you want out of the car. But yeah, totally, it comes stock with a twin scroll turbo. Brad, what's going on, dude? Had fluttering dam on access port for a while. That's terrifying. Turns out the battery cables were loose from changing plugs. I've done that before. Well, I haven't like intentionally done it, but I've done that also. Well, no one intentionally does it, but I've been there before. Plumber S2K with an FA23 turbo. What is an F? Are we de-stroking it by a tenth? Was it a tenth of a liter? Yeah. Yeah. No, what? No, that's just weird. We're getting weird now.
God.
Yeah, see, I knew it. Your mother's LOLing at me in the comments now. I knew it. I knew it. He knew I was going to do it, too. He knew it. That's what I do. I don't read things fully. I just kind of glaze over them like a donut. I'll be... like, glaze?
Like a glazed donut.
Yeah, you see? You're picking up the pun. It's punny.
I'm getting it.
I'll be doing a clutch replacement on my Bug Eye soon. Nothing special, just needs to be done. First time doing it on a WRX. Tips or just things I should know of. Pull the engine. It's so much easier to pull an engine and change the clutch than it is to drop the transmission on these cars if you don't have a lift. If you have like an engine hoist, 100% do it that way. Our neighbor changed his clutch without even taking the engine out of the car or the transmission out of the car.
Yeah, he literally just pushed that thing forward as much as he could.
I was impressed. Yeah, he like put the engine, I don't even know. I'm guessing he put the engine on rollers.
Yeah.
And then took out the radiator and just pulled the engine forward and took it off and then just put the new stuff on. I was impressed. I've never seen it done that way, but I'm genuinely impressed. Nick, appreciate the dono, man. Also, yes, all of my customers at my dealership hate the Harman Kardon radio. It's straight garbage. I have it and I like it.
No, I can vouch there's a lot of people that hate the Harman Kardon system.
I like it. What's wrong with it?
Well, then you're lucky and you don't have one that has like a plethora of issues.
Mine's never had issue. It works perfect. It sounds great.
I see at least one person a day.
About the Harman Kardon stuff?
Yeah.
What do they complain about?
My radio has no sound. My radio reboots randomly. It glitches and freezes.
Bro, my car is like stripped in pieces and it still works great.
Yeah.
I don't know. FYI, it protects yourself from blowing by lowering the volume itself. I mean, that's kind of good to know. I've never had mine do that, though. I've never had an issue with my Harman Kardon system. Sounds great. I like the sub-location, where it's up under the thing, up on top of the rear deck.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfect. I like it. It sounds a lot better than the one in the 05. The one in the 05 sounds like poop. Like, straight up poop. And I already replaced those speakers. I heard the early MHI TDO 516G because the housing could be bored to an 18G. Is that possible? I've never heard of that. Have you? I've never heard anything like
There's a lot of people that...
I mean, there's a lot of people that modify stock turbos. Like, I see people like
B&R supercars.
What did you just say?
B&R.
I think you said beater supercars.
No,
I was like, what?
Or whatever the heck that company was. They made all the, like, big wheel stalkers.
So
they just poured everything and
I know there's people that
put stuff that's not meant to be in there.
I know there's people that do it. I've never done it. I haven't looked too much into it just because I always just go the easier route of replacing the turbo. But I know there are people out there that do it. Every time I say do, I always think just like do.
They do it.
472 wheel horsepower on pump 91. Jeez, dude, I only make 457. I mean, I'm down. It would still be funsies. Why not? If I'm ever in the Portland area, I'll post up something on Instagram. Keep an eye out on that one. He makes more power. What do you think about a VF39 front mount with pinks on a 2003 WRX? VF39, I mean, it's a good stock turbo. I mean, I personally, if I was getting a stock turbo to replace one in one of my cars, I'd probably get a VF48 since it's a little bit newer than the VF39. Still same bolt up and everything like that. You're just getting a little bit newer of a turbo with a little bit different revisions. STI pinks, you're totally fine to use those. 2003 WRX if you're staying stock TGVs. Just make sure you get the correct side feed ones. Front mount intercooler, yeah, front mount. I mean, I see no problem with it. A lot of people say don't put a front mount on a stock location or stock turbo car. I did it for a while on the 17 and it felt fine. It honestly, there was like minimal to no turbo lag on that thing. When you really start when people really start getting like super picky about it, I've never understood that. Like, why did you buy a top mount over a front mount? Was it cost?
I don't know. No, because that Grimspeed top mount's like $1,100.
That's what I'm saying. Like the
it
price.
Was not a cost thing at all.
Here's the thing with the Grimspeed top mount. It doesn't even come with the Y pipe kit.
I think a big thing for me was the manifold design. I didn't want to have to mess with.
That's right.
How that manifold goes in and. If I was planning on switching it in the future, I'd just sell everything.
That's true. Well, the time has come.
What was there at the time, and I didn't want to cut up the front bumper because I plan on swapping front bumpers anyways.
Now you're like set on a front
Now I'm
mount.
like, why didn't I do all this stuff the right way the first time?
That's all right.
But I think
we live and learn.
In choosing a top mount, over a front mount because you're scared that the front mount is going to somehow detract away from power gains.
Or get damaged. I see a lot of people say because they're scared rocks will hit it.
Yeah, I will say, just from seeing how many different things we've done and different tests that are out there, front mounts in general, the power you gain on its ability to cool things and keep it cool in traffic and all of that greatly outweighs the insignificant add to turbo lag.
Yeah, so Matt has the Grimspeed top mount right now. I have the Cobb front mount, and if you compare our IATs from like the 05 to his car, it's insane. Like his car will get about 80 degrees hotter sitting in traffic on his IATs.
I can get my IATs up to like 100, and I think the highest I've had them is like 170 degrees.
Yeah.
From it just cooking and heat soaking.
It's nuts. Mine typically will go 15 to 20 degrees above ambient.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen it get. The highest I've seen it get the other day was sitting in traffic coming back from the mod garage on a super hot day, and I think the highest my IATs got was like 103 degrees, and it was like 90 out.
Yeah.
It's just insane. 100% from on intercoolers. Also, Connor, appreciate the dono, man. Hi, Matt Tanner. Hello, Connor.
Hi.
Nick, appreciate the dono, man. I've probably warrantied 1,000 Harman Kardon radios. They have a warranty extension for them because they have so many issues. That gives me an idea. Hear me out. After I got the 17 STI running,
I'm not helping you.
And I came down to your dealer and I was like, hey, my Harman Kardon system's having issues.
I'm not helping you.
Come on.
Nikki will come out and punch you directly in the face.
What if my Harman Kardon system actually is having issues?
Then
do I have any warranties left on this car?
No, not at all. There is not a single part on that car that hasn't been touched at this point.
I haven't touched the axles.
Okay.
Do I still? It only has 30,000 miles on it. Is that still warrantyable?
No. Unfortunately.
I'm going to find something. I'll put the seatbelts back in just to bring it down. Be like, my seatbelt tore.
Yeah.
And then you'll just say razor blade cut.
My dog ate my seatbelt.
Good evening. What's going on, Eric? How you doing, man? I have a stock 2020 WRX and I don't want to kill my warranty. I totally killed mine. I have a lot of heat wrap never used for my previous car. Is it worth it wrapping any stock parts? No. No. All the stock parts have heat shields that are like bolted onto them. The header, the up pipe, the down pipe. The catback doesn't. I think that's the only part that doesn't. There's the mid pipe and the catback. Everything else has heat shields already bolted onto it, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Cheesesteak all the way. The Philly cheesesteak hot pocket. See, we're back at it. I would need bigger injectors yet. I'm looking at a fuel pump. If you're honestly, yes. If you're looking at getting fuel stuff for your fuel system, at least ID 1050s and like an AEM 340 or something along those lines. I'm tuned with E30 at 22 psi peak. Got a bad ethanol and car won't idle well. I emptied the tank and refilled. Car's running well, but now I notice it probably still has some residual schmoo in the fuel that it's got to work out. Typically, whenever you get bad fuel or bad gas in there, it doesn't always work its way out like in the first refill, I guess you could call it. Sometimes it'll linger a little bit longer. Give it like 2 or 3 fill-ups to completely try to work out all that fuel, because the way the fuel system works, the way your gas tank works is it's like a dual reservoir system where when you fill it up, fuel goes on the left side of the tank, and then on the other side of the hump, there's fuel on that side. So if you use all the fuel on one side and it doesn't fully push all the fuel from the other side, from the left side hump over to the right side hump, you're gonna have a little bit of residual fuel in there that could taint, dirty, call it whatever you will, your other fuel in there.
It's a saddle.
Saddle, thank you.
It's a saddle, and it uses a Venturi.
That's the actual word.
There's a Venturi pump to take it from one side of the saddle to the other side.
Saddle.
And because of gravity, you can't make magic.
Can't make magic. Because I'm pretty sure the drain is only on one side of the tank.
Yeah.
And which means it's not going to drain both sides. You know how I got the fuel out of the gas tank when I had to pull that E85 out? I sat there with a fluid transfer pump and just... You know what I could have just done? I could have just powered the fuel pump.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's too late now. I know this might be 2 different questions, but oh well. Changing a catless up pipe from the stock 04 WX up pipe, and is it bad to run an OTS tune with a non-Cobb downpipe product? Honestly, as long as the downpipe you're putting on the car has a catalytic converter, you'll be fine for the most part. As for the up pipe question, does changing to a catless up pipe from the stock 04. I mean, you're not really going to do anything. You're really just saving the turbo from eating a catalytic converter if it ever like decided to shred itself in the up pipe. Aside from that, I mean, you're not really going to see crazy gains from it, but if you go to get Pro Tuned or Dyno Tuned, if you compare it, I'd say you'd maybe get like a 5 to 7 wheel horsepower gain from getting rid of that cat, somewhere in that range. Damo, what's going on, man? Yo, Tanner and Matt, how's it hanging? You know, man, it is not too bad. I'm losing my voice a little bit still from that last video, but dude, I must have screamed loud as fuck when I first did that.
You had a moment where
I didn't even have I should have had the camera. I didn't even have the camera on. Like, what you guys saw in today's video was nothing compared to how loud I was.
Dude, it was like 11 o'clock at night and you were loud.
I was getting it, man.
I was like, neighbors.
I was getting it. Dude, I feel like whenever Bart, hears me, if he ever hears me, late at night, I'm sure he's like, oh, Tanner figured something out again.
Yeah.
Ordered Tomei unequal length header for my 18WRX. Return it, Chris. But it won't ship out till the end of May. Cancel your order. Which sucks, but I'm waiting till I have my front mount and intercooler to tune together. Already E60 making 350-ish, so I'm curious to see my numbers after. I mean, I'm curious to see your numbers after. I don't recommend that header to anyone. But, I mean, if it's what you want, it's your car, obviously go for it. I am curious if you do end up going with that unequal length header. Shoot me a video or something, because I'm kind of curious. I've seen videos of the unequal length.
Yeah, I want to see if numbers...
I want to see a car. I want to see a WRX that has the equal length header. Go get tuned. Swap out to an unequal length header. Go get tuned again and see what it makes.
I rather than numbers, I'm interested in the boost curve.
I want to know everything
and all that.
Yeah. I want to know EGTs also,
mm-hmm.
because you're increasing runner length on cylinders 2 and 4, which means you're going to increase EGT temps on that side. There's a lot of stuff I want to know. Someone do this testing. I need to know. Did you watch the boxing match between Ben and Jake? I did not, Joshua. I don't really watch boxing. Also, what up, Tanner and Matt? How you guys doing? We're doing all right.
Doing great.
Doing all right. That was so enthusiastic.
Doing great.
I
feel like crap, dude.
You feel like, at least you have your voice.
Dying.
At least you have your voice.
Yeah.
Should I even get a front mount intercooler for my 2020 WRX? Not try. Yes. My answer is still yes. Matt and I talked a lot about intercoolers, so I'm not going to go too much on that one. With the Haltech, are you going to run an extra injector time it on exhaust for anti-lag? I am not. I will probably not do that.
Do it.
Why?
I don't know. It just sounds dope.
I don't want to buy any more injectors.
It doesn't have to be a full. You can get a little baby injector.
What? Just get a stock STI blue and just stick it?
Yeah. There you go.
I installed the Grimspeed Pitch Stop Race Edition, and I'm hearing some weird noises whenever I'm accelerating. I mean, obviously, whenever you swap out from a stock part to one that's a stiffer mount, any type of mount in the car, you're going to get more NVH, it's noise, vibration, harshness. So if you're hearing some, weird noises, it could be normal, but if it's, excessively loud, I would go in there and make sure you torqued everything down, because if the pitch stop isn't torqued all the way down, it's in a slotted recession, so that way if you're accelerating hard, the pitch stop might move back up and down a little bit, which means you'd probably hear it clunking around in there and that bolt hitting the bracket. I'd go back in there, make sure everything's tightened down fully. If not, it's probably just a little extra NVH. Connor! Appreciate the dono, man. I got a Holy header with external wastegate set up for sale if anyone is interested in Washington State. That's marketing right there. Someone buy this man's header.
That's advertising.
That's advertising.
Buy this man's header.
My mechanic called today. He is dropping my intake exhaust and up pipe to get painted and coated. It's that much more closer. Tan will send some pics when she's back. Ooh, yes. I need to do that with my exhaust stuff, is get them coated. It's just, I've never done it. I probably should.
It's expensive. It also takes a while.
Why does it take a while?
Depending on who you send it to.
You spray it, and then you put it in an oven.
Well, I sent all my stuff to Swain Tech.
Bro, why don't we just spray it with it on the car and then just run the car hot AF and just
but that's
cook it?
That's just the high temp paint.
Oh, I'm talking about Swain coating. Don't you just spray it on and bake it?
No, it's like a ceramic coat.
So you have to go there and sit there and apply it with a small microfracture rag?
No, they go there and they do some crazy process that they talk up a whole lot on their website.
Oh.
And it's all white and crazy textured and hurts to touch.
Like sandpaper?
Yeah, it's great.
Like a cat's tongue.
Yeah.
We can turn your header into a cat's tongue.
Yeah.
Is it normal to smell slight burning when you pull a bit? I'd say maybe 4K RPM. What are you smelling? What is the burning smell you're smelling? Electrical burning? Oil burning? Clutch? What is the smell? I'm curious what the smell is. Smedia, can I get away with no tune on a Grim Speed Stealth Box intake? No, you cannot. Get a tune. Buy an access port, get a tune. How does an alignment work on air suspension? Because once you're... I had that question for a long time. So when you go to get aligned, you want to align your car at your ride height. Whenever you go... So if your ride height is like 45 PSI all around, align your car at 45 PSI. If you're temporarily like raising it all the way up to like 90 PSI to like drive over a speed bump or drive over something like that, your alignment's going to get a little off. But as soon as you go back down to 45 PSI, it should put everything back where it needs to. When you go to air out, because everyone wants their fitment to be ideal when they're aired out, and that's where I see a lot of people try to align their cars, is when it's aired out. If you go and align your car when it's aired out, it's not going to be aligned at your driving height, which is going to make it drive like crap. So as long as you align it at your driving height, it'll be totally fine. Any thoughts on Blausch turbos? Looking for a solid turbo that will give me to the 4 to 450 wheel horsepower range on the 85. Matt, you take this one because you have a Blausch turbo.
I mean, if he's going for 4 to 450...
2.5 XTR.
Yeah, 2.5 for sure. My 1.5 works really well. I mean, spool's really nice, but I'd say...
Didn't PRE do like a turbo shootout, and the 2.5 XTR is one of the better ones?
They did a turbo shootout between all of the kind of mid-frame turbos. So yeah, definitely watch that video. That's where I got the idea to get the 1.5 XTR, because they were saying the 1.5 XTR for that power level works really well. You can probably use the 1.5 XTR because on E85 they made like 460 on it. So I would watch that. I only have experience with that one turbo. I like it, but I mean my next thing I do is definitely going to be rotated or not stock location.
I mean, the FP, if you're looking for like a good, like an FP green is also a good stock location turbo that would make that power range. FP black is a little bit overkill, but I mean, that's where I'm making on pump gases right there. On E85, it'd make probably another 80 more wheel horsepower. So, I mean, honestly, like an FP green, Blausch 1.5 XTR, both like crazy good turbos. Can we race if I drive to your house? I already know where you live. That's not creepy. No, I'm not trying to race right now. Your boy from Alaska. Is it worth upgrading my EJ20 turbo from Blausch 18G to 19G? Do they make a 19G? I thought they did 18 and 20.
Yeah, 16, 18, and 20.
I would go 20 if you're going to do it, because I don't know. I didn't even know they made a 19G, so I know absolutely nothing about it. 2010 WRX 350 wheel horsepower and reliable as possible. Logan, I can't remember if that was in response to something or not. I think it was. I want to say it was. I want to say, oh, it was. You were talking about the thing. You were talking about the thing with the motor and the power, and it's going to the dyno soon, I believe. Pretty sure. I think it was somewhere up there. I remember. I do remember. I do the remembers. A coyote. It's coyote, not coyote. Everyone in the Mustang world calls it a coyote, right?
That's coyote, bro.
But I know it says coyote. But doesn't everyone in the Mustang world pronounce it coyote?
I don't like that. Then they don't know how to read.
Well,
because that says coyote.
I know nothing about Mustangs. I kind of want an S550. I kind of like the S550s.
They're pretty nice.
The newer Mustangs?
Yeah. I think they finally got it right with that one. And now aren't they just discontinuing them all?
I don't know. I think Ford's still doing the Mustang and trucks.
They're not just going to make the Mach-E.
The E-Mach? Oh, that's right. They are doing that.
Yes.
I don't know. I have no idea.
All SUVs.
I wouldn't mind an S550, though. I think an S550 would be a fun car. I can't afford one, but it would be a fun car. Did you see the new EJ25? What do you mean the new EJ25? There is no new EJ25.
You're talking about like the final edition?
I don't know.
Is that what we're talking about?
Give us more details, Pillow. More details. Are the car you're being... Yes, I can register the 2017 STI when it is done. There is no reason I cannot. Here in Washington, we don't have emissions. We don't have inspection.
Yeah, they don't even know anything.
Yeah, as far as they know, it's a stock 2017 STI. It's as far as they know. But yes, it can be registered for street use here in Washington. Bro, you rock! Freaking love this channel! Dude, I sound like I got like punched in the throat. And you're the best, hands down. Hey, I appreciate it, Mike. Are you... Wow. Ooh, you donated. You asking some weird questions up here. But to answer your questions, no. I think Melanie would agree with me on that one too.
Anything's good for the right amount of money.
I mean, is it true that the 2019 and the 2020 STI have the RA blocks? Yes, they do have the RA blocks. Unfortunately, the RA doesn't come with the Harman Kardon system. I guess it does not come with the Harman Kardon system.
Sucks.
You can put it in though. I personally like my Harman Kardon
doesn't
system.
Suck, depending on how you look at it.
I will defend my Harman Kardon system. 2020 WRX 330 wheel horsepower tuned by JR feels slow and shifting is sluggish. Why? Because you need more power. More power. Honestly, I mean, JR does good tunes. The WRXs, I've never been a huge fan of the way the transmission interacts with the engine and the transmission interacts with the driver. It's always felt sluggish to me. I mean, there's obviously modifications you can do to the transmission to help speed that up a little bit and make it feel a little bit better. But for the most part, I mean, add some more power on that thing, do some drivetrain mods, and hopefully that should help fix that issue. Harman Kardon is not worth the price. That's why I bought my car used and it came with it. I didn't pay extra for it. Did I? I don't think so. I don't think I did. It's better, but not much better. Amp the bass speakers and put subs in the trunk. I don't know. I like mine. I'm also not a huge audio guy though, so I think the Harman Kardon system's perfect for
I still
me.
have stock speakers in my 05.
You only fuck with Subarus. No, I don't. I also mess with Nissans, but I haven't had one in a while. What was my last Nissan? The Skyline? I think that was my last Nissan. I'm gonna be getting another Nissan in the future. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Ayo, Tanner and Matt, y'all are the bomb diggity. Hey, appreciate it, Board Forts. How you doing, my friend? Built LGT. Hey, bro, what I missed? You know, we're just kicking it. We're just chilling, relaxing. They have memory issues, dude. It's for real. I don't even remember what I had for breakfast. I never remember what I had for breakfast. I didn't even eat breakfast.
I don't even remember.
That's why I don't remember. Would you VR6 swap an STI? Probably not.
No.
That's not up my alley. My Harman Kardon works fine, so that's what I'm saying. Never had an issue with mine either. I'm glad that no one else is having issues with their Harman Kardon systems. We've had 5 radios replaced under warranty. Just gave up. Harman. Okay, I'm tired of your comments, so we're gonna do this. Boom. Sorry, you're asking some weird questions that are getting blocked, so goodbye, my friend. I hope you have a nice night. 2016 STI Harman Kardon radio still works perfect. See, that's what I'm saying. It works just fine for me. Oh, wow, dude. There's a lot of messages that just disappeared.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
I didn't even see him. Well, goodbye. Ooh, I hope you have a good night. Thanks for the $1 dono. I'm looking into a cheap mod for $20 oil release valve. I just found out about them from SubiSpeed. $20 oil release valve. Is that for WRX? I think that's for WRX, and I think that's the Perrin one. No, that's the sump restrictor pill. I'm looking to a cheap mod for 20. Oh, the Fumoto drain valves. 100%. Dude, snag a Fumoto drain valve. Those things are awesome. I have one on both cars. Aftermarket speakers, a sub and an amp are a must. Maybe I'm just like picky with my audio. I just don't care for audio too much. Crazy finding someone that has a big YouTube channel that you used to work with. Crazy finding Jacob. Where Jacob. Now I'm trying to rack my memory. Jacob, did we work together? Where did we work together? I feel so bad now. I feel so bad. YouTube challenge. Batter built VA bait versus 17 STA with the EG33 drag strip. Batter will drag me. I've said this multiple times. I've never raced. I've never even taken my car onto a drag strip. Hey, thanks again, dude, for the seatbelts, my man. Hey, anytime. Anytime, my friend. Did you make it down to California all safe and whatnot? I know you were driving down there. I don't remember what your timeline was, but I remember you were trying to get down there like somewhat ASAP. But yeah, Batter would totally wreck me on a drag strip. I've never raced on a drag strip. I've done like back road drag racing in Louisiana with some friends like 10 years ago, but aside from that, I've never actually. Have you ever been on a drag strip? I haven't.
No.
I haven't.
Surprisingly, no.
I've been
I
on
own a Neon. They're like only drag cars.
I've been on autocross courses and I've been on time attack courses. I've never been on a drag course.
Yeah.
I guess a drag strip. It's not really a course, unless you like go in a straight line.
Back street.
Is my 17 STI paid off? Ricky, don't tell the bank anything. Build a hatch. One day. I mean, Melanie wants a hatch, so that is actually a real possibility that a hatch might be coming to the channel here in the future. I just don't know when. Eating dinner, fam cooked chicken, mashed red skin potatoes with our sauerkraut. Dude, that sounds so good. I want potatoes. I want KFC.
Dude.
I want KFC.
Yeah.
KFC sounds so good. Pan, not fan. It's alright, man. It's alright. Hey, Tanner, you need to go and look up a Subaru Sandbar. I know what a Subaru Sandbar is. I've seen them before. There's
we need a Subaru sandbar for like
a work truck.
Yeah.
We could use that as a work truck.
Little parts truck.
I'm all about it. Get a 360 and we...
Babies.
You think we could fit a 360 in the back of a sandbar? I think you could. I think you could legitimately put...
I don't know. I think they're pretty close to the... I mean, sandbars are...
I know sandbars are
babies.
Like tiny little babies.
We should pick up a tiny little baby.
You know, I remember when I was coming back from Afghanistan, we stopped in Romania, and there were like sandbars everywhere there.
Yeah, that's like their thing.
I don't know.
Little baby truck.
I don't remember why. Connor, Focus RS? I wouldn't mind a Focus RS. I'd be down for a Focus RS. I think a Focus RS would be fun. I wouldn't do an ST, but I would definitely do an RS. If I could get one for like a non-stupid price, because they only made them for 2 years. I also don't know.
And now people really want them. So.
Well, people wanted them 2 years ago, but dealers were marking them up like 50K?
And they we talked about that. They weren't letting people drive them.
Yeah, and they had head gasket issues.
Yeah.
They had a recall for the head gasket. You think...
You'd have to sit there and buy... You'd have to buy a stupidly expensive hot hatch for like...
100,000?
Having never driven it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they marked the crap out of them.
I mean, one day, if I could ever get an RS, I'd totally be open to the opportunity of an RS. I still want a 400Z. I want a 400Z bad. I like those cars. I know you don't like them. I like them. AWE exhaust. Advertised best tone and zero drone noise. After I purchased and installed, the drone noise is killing me. They lied. They lied to you. Any idea why no other mod, just exhaust? I mean, maybe it's just the exhaust. Maybe they think it doesn't have drone, but it actually does have drone. I've never ran an AWE exhaust on any of my cars, so I can't personally speak for it. But if you're getting drone, I mean, I'm pretty sure they come with a resonator and a muffler, but if that's not enough and it's still droney, at that point I might just swap to a different exhaust.
Yeah, if you like the tone in like other ranges and the drone is only at one point in the RPM band, you might be able to install an anti-drone pipe. Just have somebody put that on there.
That's how the 17 STI was. The little...
Yeah.
That's how the 17 STI was with that ETS one.
Yeah.
It's so loud. Hey, Tanner, have you watched Batter and his VA-Bait ST? I know Batter. Batter and I have talked before. We talk every now and then. Batter's a chill dude. Is overriding the clutch safety switch something many people do with Subarus? Many people with Miatas do it to prevent wear on the crank with cold starts. I'm considering doing it on my O3. I personally never heard of anyone doing it. Have you? Like, I've never heard of anyone doing it before. Interesting concept. I mean, I don't see any reason why you would need to do it on a Subaru. I mean, I have no knowledge of this because I've never done it and I've never seen people do it and I've never looked into it.
I don't think we really have that issue.
I don't see why it would be an issue.
I don't see cars even with high mileage that have that same shared issue.
Yeah. To prevent wear on the crank with cold starts. Where would you get on the crank with a cold start just because the neutral safety switch on the clutch? Or the clutch safety switch, my bad, not the neutral safety switch. I'm curious. I've never heard of anyone do this before. My boy, what's going on, David? Pop and bang tune good for engine. Technically, no. So, especially with all the EPA stuff. So, crackle tunes, pop and bang tunes. What else do people call them? Burble tunes, 100%. So, all they're doing is dumping excess fuel into the cylinder, and that excess fuel isn't being burnt in the actual cylinder. So, it pushes all that fuel out into the exhaust, past the turbo, into the actual, like, turbo back, where then it ignites and blows up. Then you get, like, the pop, 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 bang, shoot fire, bang, bang, all the fun noises right there. The fuel's going to wear through your catalytic converter pretty quick. Your fuel mileage is going to decrease. Your throttle response is going to feel like poop. Technically your EGTs could increase because you're putting fuel into the cylinder if it blows up in the header instead of in the combustion chamber or post turbo. You're adding more heat into the header, which is going to increase EGTs, which can also increase knock. Technically, it's not good for your engine. I wouldn't suggest it. I had it on the BRZ for a while. I absolutely hated how the car drove with it. Like, it just felt like the throttle response it wasn't there. It was like you hit the throttle and it's like thinking about it for a minute and then it starts to go. It's just, personally, no. Awesome advertising on YouTube. That's what I'm saying. The Connor coming in here trying to sell something. I'm all about it. I'm in Central Washington. Do you guys know some good meat, or where some good meats are? Not anymore. With a lot of the takeover stuff that I've seen happen in Washington, with a lot of like the COVID restrictions, a lot of like car meets car shows have totally gotten like cut or at least heavily reduced back from what they used to be. I know Cars and Coffee in Seattle is starting back up right now, but that's pretty far north from Central Washington. Aside from that, there's nothing really big that I really see. They used to have car meets every Friday at, what was it? Not Dunkin' Donuts. What is the donut shop? Krispy Kreme.
Yes.
They used to have like Friday meets at Krispy Kreme every single week. And they weren't like, compared to today's meets, that they're not really meets, they were actually pretty tamed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
you just go there and meet people.
Yeah, unfortunately not so much anymore. Watching you need to do is you need to go to a paint shop to have your parts ceramically coated professionally. Ben, that is the hardest thing that I've had to read tonight. That was difficult.
I think we're talking about the exhaust. And
we're talking about the swing coating on everything. Yeah. Does buying a total loss STI and swapping all of it into 2.5i sound like a bad idea? No, that actually sounds like a pretty good idea because you can probably get a total loss STI for pretty cheap. As long as the transmission and the long block are good, you're pretty much set. Like, if like mounts are destroyed, if like the drive shaft you're probably going to need a different drive shaft anyways, because I don't think that drive shaft will bolt straight up anyways, because it's a little bit longer depending on what car you're pulling it from, but 100%, it does not sound like a bad idea. I would totally do it. Your car from the factory is supposed to come with rust protection like a zinc coating. That it is. Damn, the Leviathan, you would need everything from the STI. Oh, that's up there. I see it now. I'm thinking. And of course, you want to use galvanized steel. We're talking about the exhaust there. Yo, ever consider doing the face swap on your VA STI? I've considered it, but I don't want to pay $1,400 for a 2018 plus bumper when I already have so much money invested in mine. Because I already have the canards on there. I have the APR splitter on there. I have the OEM STI lip on there. I have the JDM grill on there. The JDM fog bezels. Realistically, I've probably put like close to $2,000 into that bumper alone. I don't want to talk about how much money I spent on that car, actually. Yo, let's go, Rumble Hatch. What's going on, man? Nice video today, Tanner. Stoked for you, big guy. Hey, thanks, dude. Trying to get all that wiring in there was a,
oh, God.
It was interesting. We'll say the least. Also, who owns Mittens? I want to see Matt's SRT4 at some point. Maybe get a feature on his own. He has his own channel, Rumble Hatch.
Yeah, and I'm, like, doing stuff on my Outback and the SRT. I mean, slowly, but surely I'm getting there.
Make Matt upload more videos more frequently.
I'm trying. Make me quit my job.
If you do want to check out Matt's channel, I put it in the chat if you want to go check that one out. He just ordered like the harness for his SRT4, the Neon, today. He's about to pull the engine out of Mittens tomorrow.
Yeah, so Mittens is getting...
You legitimately have to like pull that engine tomorrow before it rains.
I know.
Or else that thing's going to sit there for weeks.
Yeah, I'll have to drink energy drinks tomorrow and be ready to actually move.
Because I got to pull the engine out of the STI tomorrow. But I'm going to be doing that while you're at work. So if I get done soon enough, I can help you on Mittens.
Yeah.
And we can get it done pretty quick.
I'll be off by 5, probably home by 6.
We could probably pull that motor in like 3.5 hours. If you and I are both going on, I think we could realistically get it done like 2.5 max. I have a 2010 WRX and I want a decent turbo upgrade without blowing it up. What are your power goals, Donald? I mean, 2010 WRX, I wouldn't do anything bigger than like a Cobb 20G because it maxes out at like 400 wheel horsepower. I wouldn't go past like 350 horsepower on that 255 on a 2010, personally. Screw getting an S550 Mustang. Why don't you get a third generation Camaro or Dodge Daytona Turbo Z? Money. Those are, I know the Turbo Zs are expensive. Those things are... If I could realistically get like any domestic car, and I think I've said this before, without like money being a problem, it would 100% be a Buick. 100%. Be a Grand National. I like the Grand Nationals. I think they'd be an awesome car. Love my S550. 19 Mustang will become its own company like Pontiac, etc. That's what I'm saying. Dude, maybe I get an S550 in the future. I feel like that'd be a fun car. I don't know how to work on a Mustang. Can't be that hard. If I can work on a Subaru, I can work on a Mustang. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want a BMW also. I mean,
Boxers are weird to begin with, but at the same time, when you work on a Boxer, the like golden part of a Boxer is you work on one and you can cover multiple different things, and they're not all the same, but they're all close enough that it makes sense.
Dude, it's a party.
Yeah.
Hey, my dude, how's it going? What's going on, Mini Stat? How you doing, man? Mo Powell, baby. That's what I'm saying. What should I eat? What's for dinner? KFC. I'm saying, taco time sounds good, actually. Taco time. Dairy Queen. You wanted ice cream.
I do want ice cream.
Dairy Queen.
Yum.
Nick, appreciate the dono, man. What clutch are you using? GG boys. I go to bed. Good night, my friend. And we are using the the mod twin, the ACT mod twin in the 17 STI. So you guys will get a full video on that one, or pulling the engine back out, doing a couple other maintenance things, not even maintenance things, but just like building things to the engine before I put it back in. It's coming out and then going back in tomorrow. I have a feeling it's actually going to be a real big pain to get the engine to line up with the transmission and then get it to drop down into the subframe with the clutch in there. I'll do it. It won't be that hard. I'll figure it out. But yeah, we're using the ACT mod twin. Ew, don't get a Mustang. What's wrong with the S550s? I think they look good. If you're going to go get a Mustang... Well, no, because if I were to go get a Mustang, it would be an S550. That's like the only one I really like. Can I just say that you hyping up over everything worked... working looked like a rambling of a man driven mad. Dude, ask, like, you can, yeah, like, I have been working on wiring in that car for realistically, if we were to put in hours, probably 60 to 70 hours I put in wiring in that car. Of stripping everything out, removing wires, removing sensors, rewiring, relooming, rerunning wires. Like, you go mad. You legit, like, start to lose your mind when you're, like, wiring for that long.
I just want to say to this comment that I agree.
What? I sounded like a madman?
Yeah.
Bro!
There was a moment where you were like a wind-up toy, and just legit, like, somebody set you down and you just started freaking out.
Bro, do you know how
I was like, I know you're excited.
That took me days.
I know you're excited.
That took me
It's also, I had to be the dad.
You gotta be quiet, the neighbors.
I know you're excited.
The neighbors.
Just keep it down.
Bro, I was so pumped. I'm so pumped.
It's like when I was 20 and started the SRT on Christmas Eve.
Oh, and the neighbor comes out.
It was open
It
down.
started!
Yeah, neighbor walks across the street. It's snowing. Car's loud as shit. He just goes... And I went, I know, it started, right? Yeah, it's only been 3 months.
No.
And I could hear him, and I was like, oh, I'll turn it off.
Oh, I'll turn it off. Good stuff. I'm stoked to continue watching this progress. That's what I'm saying. Also, spiders in the garage, burn down the garage. I rewatched the video that I uploaded today, and at the end of the video is you complaining about that tiny little spider that was under your toolbox. The one that was in my car was realistically probably like that big with its legs spread out. It was like that big. That's a big spider. I don't do spiders. Don't look around in here for spiders. I don't like them. They come out of nowhere. They're creepy. They, like, crawl on you. Ugh. Ugh.
I don't like them.
In, like, the early videos that I used to put up, it was the one where, like, that black widow, that widow was in the old garage. And you were like, ah! I just gleeked all over myself. Oh, that was bad. I just don't like spiders. I'm not a spider person. Yeah. Yes, I did make it to California, still here, but ready to go back to Indiana. I totally feel it, dude. I don't blame you. I'm sure it's probably hot in California too right now. Drag strips are ... interesting and loud. I've been to a drag strip. I've just never raced on a drag strip. Let me throw that out there. Congrats on getting the Haltech going, man. Technically, I haven't really done anything with the Haltech yet. Yeah. I sorted out the injector wires.
It's a process.
I had to get all the other wiring situated first. So that way I know. I had to get it all situated first.
It's a process. It's a process.
But those things are dope. There's another YouTube channel that put one of those in a Liberty. Ooh. Haltech is like seems to be the way to go. Spiders, you got to move out now. See, Cody, appreciate the dono, by the way.
I'm selling the house.
Dude, I swear, every time like Matt and I come down the stairs, every now and then there's like a fat spider like always in the same hallway on a different spot.
Dude,
in the
he
wall.
loves being in that staircase.
What do you mean he? There's multiple.
Okay, they love being in that staircase.
Dude, they're always there.
I don't like it. I don't like it because they're always above your head, and if you don't notice when you do notice, you've
it's
already
like
walked
it's too
down,
late.
And then you rethink everything, and you go, did I really walk down these stairs and not notice you?
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. If you're gonna go look for a good drag strip to race, go to Texas. I haven't been to Texas in a couple of years. Last one I was at in Texas was Royal Purple Speedway, which is actually a pretty nice track. Pretty nice track. Well, drag strip. Is a drag strip a track? Does that count as a track?
It's a strip.
All right, we're just gonna go strip.
It's a strip.
I don't know the technical terminology for it. Bristol Motor Speedway has meetings all the time where you can race for like $20. Dude, why don't we have that around here? We don't have that.
We have Pacific Raceways has like test and tune sometimes.
Yeah, but it's not $20.
They run like specials and stuff.
Do they?
Yeah.
Why don't we go out there?
When Brody goes out there, it's just a test and tune.
Why don't we go out there
just runs it? I don't want to break my car.
You're not gonna break it. What's the worst
when
that
it's
happens?
not a daily?
What's the worst that happens if it breaks?
Then yeah, I'll totally.
Mine's a daily. I'll take it out there.
If it breaks, then I'm riding with somebody to work.
Then you get mittens running.
But once it's not a daily,
You got to push the daily to the limits.
Push it.
Push it real good.
We race mittens as soon as it gets running. The break-in is on a drag strip.
Another Hoosier in here?
Hoosiers, bro.
Ooh. Do you go to Mexico if you catch my drift, or are you a law-abiding citizen? I don't race on public streets really ever actually anymore. I learned my lesson years ago in Louisiana when we used to do a lot of like drag racing in Louisiana on a whole bunch of back roads, and like mind me, we're out in like the middle of the woods, but this one night there was like 50 of us out there, and my buddy Michael and me were running. He had an Evo 8. I had my 08 STI at the time, the hatch, and it was like right after it got pro tuned, and I was pumped. I was like, all right, I'm gonna whoop this Evo's ass, right? So we're going back and forth. The video's up on YouTube of us doing polls. So we're doing polls back and forth, and like the first one, I won. I shot a little bit of fire out the hatch. I saw the video, and I was like, oh, I'm shooting fire. And then the next run, he gets me, and then the next one, it was just back and forth. Like I'd get him, he'd get me. I'd get him, he'd get me. And then we decided to pull off, and we let the Mustangs go next. And these two Mustangs pull up, and they were like, this was in like 2013, I think. This was like 8 years ago. These two Mustangs pull up, and me and him fall to the back of the pack to let everyone else get in line to be able to do their runs. And then the two Mustangs just take off, and as soon as you hear the Mustangs like just go wow, and they start going off out of nowhere. Like keep in mind, we're in like the back of like Louisiana in the woods. Out of nowhere, all of like the trees and the forest just like light up red and blue. And there was realistically probably like 18 police officers and cops out there, and it was like Fast and the Furious 2 when they all scatter out of that complex, and we're all going down like back roads in the woods and whatnot, going like everywhere. The only people that actually got pulled over and ticketed were the two Mustangs. Everyone else like split and actually got away somehow. Terrifying. Ever since then, I don't street race.
When I was younger, I used to go to like the Kent Street races. Mm-hmm. Back before they became like incredibly trash,
untasteful.
Well, no, now they're like terrible.
Link to the video. I'll have to find it. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll find it and put it in the Discord.
But back in the day, they weren't bad. Like they were actually organized, and people wouldn't go and do dumb shit the whole time they were there. But I was there because I'm old. So I was there during...
You're 30, that's not
I'm
old.
30, but I mean, I was out there when I was like 17.
Okay.
So they had, in like 2007, 2008, sometime around there, they had a... What?
I'm sorry. Joshua's comment got blocked and I just read it. This one right here, I'm sorry. Oh. I'm sorry. I keep telling your story. I'm sorry.
I was there during when they had the big bust.
Oh.
And they had like helicopters over.
Oh yeah.
We all got blocked in, dude. I drove my car over a fucking curb
to get out.
Yeah, I legit just sent it over a curb.
I went to the Kent Street races.
Sorry, SRT. I was like, you're done. Nope. We're not having this happen right now.
I went to the Kent Street races one time, and it was in my 350Z, and the 350Z was still registered in Louisiana, so I didn't have to have a front plate. Mm-hmm. You know how many times I got pulled over that night for not having a front plate? Like 4. 4 times for not having a front plate.
I still don't run a front plate.
Neither do I.
But
the thing is I was into the Kent Street races, so they pull you over for anything.
They did give me a secondary, and they were like, "You need to fix it." So I like went into the court one day, and I was like, "You want to look?" And
it's on there.
Looks good.
And then
I went home and just took it back off.
Yep.
And I was like, "Whatever."
But yeah, no. I mean, we kind of got off topic on that one, but yeah, for the most part, I'm a law-abiding citizen now, like 70% of the time.
Yeah.
70. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's times when I'm in Mexico and we're just doing our thing, but for the most part, it's law-abiding. Street fights at BMS. I don't even know what that means. Back to the KFC comment. Joshua, your comment literally had me ruffling. It literally got me ruffling. Howdy, neighbor. What's going on, friend? Sup, Washington homies. What's going on, man? Howdy. Bro, I didn't know you served. Thanks for your service. Hey, anytime, man. Yeah, I was in the Army for... How long was I in the Army? 5 years? 4 years? 4 years? 5 years? I don't remember. It was a while. Perhaps you should get a Dodge Neon SRT4 just like that.
No,
I don't have to scavenge for parts on Facebook groups. I already do that.
They're becoming impossible to find parts.
I already do that with the 17 STI trying to find parts for the EG33.
I'm just mad that I had like an 8-year hiatus.
When parts were still available.
Yeah. Now I look at it and I'm like, oh, I could have
Which,
got all these.
speaking of which, this reminds me, if anybody happens to have an extra EG33 crank sprocket laying around, let your boy buy that. Let me buy that. If anyone has one laying around. RS had a terrible block design. Yes, that's why the head gaskets continued to like blow up on those cars. He has a Subaru. We are used to bad block designs. That's funny. I have an AW touring exhaust and it sounds good with no drones. Yes, I'm saying. Let me ask everybody in the chat right now who thinks Tanner should get a Dodge Neon SRT4, yay or nay? I say nay. There's a vote for yay, no Dodge Neon. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't want to deal with that. I hated working on his. I helped him work on his. It sucked.
We have enough. We have the one.
We only need one.
If he bought a Neon, he'd like leave for a day and come back, and I would have stole all the parts I needed off of it.
It would be an endless thievery.
Will you please buy a parts car for me?
Where do you want me to put it?
Just on the side of the house.
Where would we put it?
It'll be pieces and like.
I know where an entire EG33 is. It's not ran in 10 years. Fox, if you can get me that crank sprocket, I'll pay you for your time and the crank sprocket and for shipping. Let me know. I definitely need one. Definitely need one. Oh, I shopped at the Mod Garage for the first time. Thanks to the advice of Tanner, A+, we'll shop again. Hey, that's what I'm saying. I've been up there, like, quite a bit recently. Quite a bit. Chat jumped every single time. Oh, don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump. Tanner, need advice. Mechanic said I need a new engine. Oil is getting burned in my car. Oil's getting burned in my catalytic converter, but don't understand what that means. So if you're having high oil consumption, if you don't have an air oil separator, personally, I'd start with getting an AOS in the car and seeing to what degree that actually helps. If you're getting a ton of oil like dumping in there, my first thought would be valve stem seals. The valve stem seal keeps oil from getting from the cylinder head into the combustion chamber. If it's getting into the combustion chamber, then it's going to be burning a lot of oil. But I'd start with an AOS, see if that cleans things up, and your PCV system may just be needing a little extra love. But if it continues to just burn an excess of oil, that would be what I think. Or it could be bad rings. Wouldn't be bad rings. Could be bad rings.
You could just do a compression leak down test.
Yeah, I mean, you could just do a compression test. Do a compression test and leak down test and see what. If you do a leak down test, it'll tell you where the problem is. So a compression test will tell you that you have low compression in one of the cylinders. If you have low compression in a cylinder, from there you can diagnose what it is if you want to. Typically, whenever I see low compression in a cylinder, I just pull it out, replace everything, anyways. But if you don't want to do that and you just want to replace, you just want to fix the problem, you can do a leak down test. So the leak down test will tell you what cylinder leakage is. So if you have, and you can hear it too. So if you take off the intake and you open up your throttle body and you have a leak in an intake valve, you'll hear air coming out of that. If you have a leak in the exhaust valve, you can listen to it in the exhaust. If you have a leak past the rings, the piston rings, you can open up the oil cap and you can hear it coming through there. Am I missing anything on that, or that's everything, right?
Should cover it.
Yeah, that should cover it. It'll tell you exactly where the problem is. By the way, I'm freaking pumped to hear that Subi run. Same. I'm so curious to hear what the 17 STI is going to sound like. I don't know. I've heard videos of other EG33s, but I don't know what this one's going to sound like.
It's going to sound smooth. It's going to be smooth.
Depending on header design. It's going to be a little unequal length.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit unequal length. 05 LT LG TEJ 255 Tiki Ghost. That was for the burning oil thing. I'm sticking with what I said. Popcorn Tune. That's another one people call it Popcorn Tune, I guess. Yeah. AKA every Focus ST and Golf owners. Dude, every Focus STI here, it's like they make, we've talked about this, they make half a pound of boost and their blow up valve is and you can hear it blocks away. The Focus ST is the new SRT4. Big facts, at least that's true for me. Turbo cooler. What do you mean turbo cooler? Turbo cooler. Intercooler? That's the only turbo cooler I could think of. Intercooler? I don't know what turbo cooler is. Turbo timer? Josh, more information needed on that one. Yo, I've been sleeping on Matt's channel. What? Thank you. Look at that. You got a new sub. There
Thanks, bro.
I'm guessing. Well, we don't know that. He could just be watching your videos. Also, notifications happen in the Discord when Matt's videos post too. I saw that in the self-promotion tab. I'm all about it. Which, if any of you guys are in the Discord and any of you guys make YouTube videos, feel free to post them in the self-promotion tab, because when I get bored, I go through there and I try to watch everyone's videos, but no one else has been posting in there.
Yo, and if you're not on the Discord, what the hell are you doing with your life?
Yeah, get in the Discord. I'll post.
It's like a friendly community.
It is. The Discord's awesome. I'll post the link to the Discord in the comments of this video after it goes live. But we've been going for about 70 minutes now. You guys, my voice is absolutely killing me right now. We'll do another stream on Friday, but I appreciate all the donos. I appreciate everyone swinging in tonight. If I didn't get to your guys' questions, which I can clearly see I did not get to them all, please jump into the next stream. Earlier the better to get your questions in, and we will try to get to them then. But I gotta go kick it, dude. My voice is like killing me. I'll post the link to the Discord in the comments of this video after YouTube processes it and makes it go live. But I hope everyone has an awesome rest of their week, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies. Woo! God, I can't even woo.